Get over there! Over there, you muppet! Next time you get it This is what they do, yeah? They batter us, yeah? This is what they're doing. At 6 o'clock this morning, they attacked us. They don't care. We're smashed. We had to throw fire. They're beating us up. There's nothing left to do. This is Devon Council.
This is the Tidemill Wildlife Garden. It was designed and planted by students, pupils, teachers and parents and some members of the local community some 20 years ago. There are 70 plus trees in this garden. This is a joint campaign with Reginald House. 16 tenants are going to lose their homes, 13 of which are council tenants. So this development was conceived, I think, in the early 2000s, and then a group of guardians moved here in 2012 who opened this garden to the community. They were doing forestry projects with primary schools, they were doing community projects, and the council had given us a meanwhile lease. They keep stressing that this was a meanwhile space for us, and that's what they use in terms of justifying getting us out. However, we say to them, meanwhile, we've realised how valuable this space is to the local community as a space where they can meet, where people can grow vegetables, flowers, get involved in gardening projects, organise events, and our argument has always been that it is possible to redesign the scheme, get as many units as they require without destroying either Reginald House, which is structurally sound, but however it's been what is described as managed decline over the last 4 years. Repairs haven't been attended to and they still don't have fire doors, and they still haven't been given detailed information about their decant. Yes, on Saturday we had a march through Deptford.
It's a wonderful space for all the community, including myself and my grandchildren, who are in the block that they want to knock down. I've lived in this block for over 30 years and most of my neighbours have lived there 25 years plus, and they want to knock down our block and completely knock down our community, which is the block and the garden. And we want to stop them from doing that because it's unjust and it's unfair.
People are beginning to realise what is going on in London, i.e. the local councils are playing into Tory policy, saying they have no choice, and are demolishing council homes in order to realise profit from private developments. And we feel this is totally and utterly unacceptable, and so do most of the people that we...
Bailiffs out! Bailiffs out! Bailiffs out! Bailiffs out! Bailiffs out!
Well, I got the call at 6 o'clock this morning. I shoved on my clothes and I ran down here, and I was astounded to see about 150 police here, plus all the bailiffs, and all we could hear from outside was them bashing about inside. They managed to get one of our campaigners out of the gate and another one was up a tree. They were literally dragging her out of the tree. They were trying to do it with two very unsteady ladders. As far as we were concerned, that was an assault and they shouldn't do that when people are up trees. There's been loads of members of the community that have turned up in support of protecting these two very valuable community assets. None of the council have come down, of course, because they're too ashamed. Well, we hope they're ashamed, and they should be ashamed of themselves for doing this.
Where are the council? You seem like a chatty fella. Hello.
Where's the council? Where's the fucking council?
Where is the fucking council?
What's happening here is just absolutely disgusting. This is a priceless community garden, a very important green space for local people, and also something that helps to mitigate the effects of the dreadful pollution that is in this part of Deptford. And for them to proceed in this manner is just, I honestly don't know what they think they're doing. They spin a whole load of lies about how they're desperately going to be building, much needed new homes, but they don't need to destroy the garden, and they don't need to destroy the block of flats next door, which is another part of their plans. So Reginald House, which is a structurally sound block of council flats, they want to destroy that as well. Why are they doing that? Because they want to replace it with new property which is less affordable than what already exists here, and that offers less protection to the people who are living there. There can be no other explanation for that. And I think that's part of a London-wide trend that people need to be aware of, which is that they're trying to get rid of social rents, the most genuinely affordable rents that exist for council tenants and housing association tenants, and replace them with London affordable rent. When you read about it, you tend to hear about how it's only a little bit more expensive than social rents. Well, in Lewisham, according to Lewisham Council's own evidence, it's 63% higher. So that's going to be an extra £3,000 a year at least for hard-working families, and I'm sure many people will realise that's not the kind of money that people have. So what we're being sold here is just a pack of lies. What this is actually about is a development site that is intended to make money for the demolition people who are going to destroy Reginald House, for the building contractors who are going to work on the new site, and for Peabody that's going to make a huge profit out of it as well. Lewisham Council themselves are actually getting very little out of it. They're really acting as the underpaid pimps in the whole of this disgusting process of social cleansing and gentrification. This is our garden that you're destroying! Who do you really think you're working for? Did you believe the lies that Lewisham Council told you about how they're going to make nice, affordable homes? Because they're not!
If you look around this area, there's no green spaces left. They're cutting down all the trees. We're just being assaulted by concrete, glass and metal, and it's all concentrated in one area. In fact, one of the councillors even went round to the tenant and said to her that she should go to one of the homeless shelters to see how people are living, as if it's her fault, and that she should give up her home. But I bet they wouldn't give up their bloody home.
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Our garden!
Our garden!
Get back! Get back! Everyone get back!
He attacked a girl!
Stop it! Stop it!
There's a line of police here acting as a barrier between the people of Deptford and the bailiffs who are destroying the site. And we're seeing behaviour on their part which I think is really inappropriate. So recently there was an altercation with one of the people here campaigning to protect the garden, where we're seeing people really quite out of control in the way that they're behaving towards people, and yet there appears to be no accountability. The police's approach appears to be that they're saying that everything is being done according to how it should be done, and I don't really think that we're in the position today to trust that the police are doing anything other than protecting the bailiffs in anything that they choose to do, which I think is completely inappropriate.
Oh!
This is how they police. They use private police force to do their work. They're all thugs. They're all paid assassins, and they will violently attack these people. This must stop. This is England in 2018.
I mean, this isn't the end of things by any means. What happens here today, if they do take the garden and destroy it, we're still going to be fighting against their proposals for the overall site. This isn't just the only story of inappropriate housing developments that are taking place in Lewisham. And of course, when we start to look across the whole of the capital, we're seeing the same things happening.